Hello, I'm George McCranie, DUI and criminal defense attorney with offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. Today I wanted to talk about 5 frequently asked questions about an ALS notice or an ALS hearing. And that means an administrative license suspension notice. That's a DS form 1205, and then the resulting hearing that happens after that. Now, what an ALS hearing is it's a civil hearing. It's not the DUI case. It's not the criminal case. It's a civil hearing, and the state of Georgia is trying to suspend your driver's license. If you have a Georgia driver's license, they can suspend your driver's license, or if you have an out-of-state driver's license, they can suspend your privileges to drive in the state of Georgia. Okay, so that's what an ALS hearing is, or an ALS suspension notice is. Okay, now a lot of times you'll get this, the trooper or the law enforcement officer, if you're charged with DUI, obviously you'll get your tickets for DUI, but you'll also get this other piece of paper, and it's a big yellow sheet of paper, and it looks like a regular size sheet of paper. It's this big, and they'll say this is what you drive on. Okay, and that's true, but they don't tell you to look on the back, and it tells you the hearing procedures and what you need to know about them. And if you don't read the back of it and you don't know, you can lose your driver's license and you've never been convicted of DUI. Okay, you've never even been to court on the DUI itself. All right, so that's sort of what we're looking at with an ALS. Now, let's talk about why you received an ALS. All right, well, because you've been charged with DUI, and 2 different types of DUI. If you refuse to take the official state's test, you'll receive an ALS notification. All right, saying that they want to suspend your license because you refuse to submit to the state administered test of your breath, blood, or urine, or other bodily substances. Okay. Now, the other way that you get an ALS notice is if you receive a DUI and you have a test, let's say an intoxicator 9000, and you blew in excess of the legal limit. All right, so that means that if you're over 21 and you blew in excess of 0.08 grams or more, all right, or if you're under 21 and you blew 0.02, all right, then they will give you this notice. Or if you're a CDL driver and you blew a 0.04 BAC, okay, then you will get this notice as well. All right, so that's why you're getting the ALS notice. Another question that we get a lot of times is, how long do I have to respond to this ALS notice? And it used to be that you only had 10 business days. Now that's been changed. You have 30 days from receiving the ALS, the DUI and the ALS notice. You've got 30 days to file a written request for a hearing. Okay, and on top of that, you have to send the state $150, cashier's check money order, in order to get a hearing. Okay, remember, they're trying to suspend your driver's license. So that's basically what you're going to be dealing with the time to respond. But let me tell you, this is very important. I recommend talking with an experienced DUI criminal defense attorney if you receive an ALS, because there's different things that can happen with this. And if it's a DUI refusal, then there may be some other options available out there if you absolutely have to keep driving. So I recommend that you go and talk with an experienced DUI attorney about your case, and get their opinion and get their advice on what's going on with your specific case, because these cases are determined on a case-by-case, fact-by-fact specific basis. Okay, and if you don't do anything, let's say you have a DUI refusal and you don't do anything, what will happen is that the state will automatically suspend your driver's license or driving privileges in Georgia if you don't have a Georgia driver's license. All right, and that's a hard suspension. It will be for 12 months. All right, there is no way to drive. You don't get a restricted driving permit. You don't get to drive to church. You don't get to drive to school. You don't get to drive to a wedding. You don't get to drive anywhere. Okay, no work, no medical, no anything. It's a hard suspension. The only way to get that suspension lifted is to have the DUI either win at trial and you're not guilty, have the DUI dismissed, or have the charge reduced down to something other than a DUI. That's the only way to get your driving privileges back. Okay, so it's something. So it's very important that you talk to an attorney that knows what they're doing. Okay, Now, again, I'm George McCranie, DUI and criminal defense attorney with offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at McCranieLawFirm.com. We got a lot of educational videos on there. Also, if you'd like to give us a call and you have a question, we'll be happy to get you, help you get the answers you need. You can reach us at 833-927-6227. All right, and feel free to give us a call. We'll be glad to help you get the answers. Okay. Now, fourth thing that you need to know is, what am I risking with this ALS hearing? All right. Now remember, the ALS is not the DUI case. The DUI case is where they're trying to put you in jail. All right. The state wants to put you in jail. The government wants to fine you money. The government wants to put you on probation. They want you to have to pay for probation. They want you to do community service. All right. They want you to go to DUI school. That's the criminal part of this. The ALS hearing is not that, okay? The ALS hearing, the government can only suspend your Georgia driver's license or your privilege to drive in the state of Georgia, okay? So don't worry about going to jail. That's not what this hearing is. It's a civil matter. It's not criminal like the DUI itself, okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and we have people that ask us this all the time, do you recommend that I testify at an ALS hearing, okay? Now, this is my advice. I do not recommend that you testify at an ALS hearing. Remember, the hearing is being recorded, okay? Now, if you testify, your testimony can be used against you later on at the criminal trial, where they're trying to put you in jail, all right? And on the DUI, they can sentence you to a jail term of up to 12 months in jail. So, I mean, this is very serious business. So if you testify, anything you testify to can be used against you. All right. So this is the way I look at it. It's kind of like playing cards. If you testify, they get to see all of our cards. We don't want that. I don't want that. All right. So what I want is I want that officer to testify. The officer testifies, we get to see all the state's cards. They have to lay them out there. I get to cross-examine that officer. We get to go through everything he did. We get to work on this case. And basically, we're getting all the discovery way, way, way ahead of time, because this ALS hearing is going to come up, and it's normally scheduled within 30 days of you receiving the DUI. So your criminal case on the actual DUI charge might be 3 months out, might be 6 months out, this kind of thing. It might be a year out. We got some courts that, there's DUIs hanging around there that's 3 years old, okay? So with this, what you're looking at is, if you testify, you take a chance on hurting your criminal case, all right? At the ALS hearing, I don't recommend you testify, because it can come back to haunt you in a criminal case. And if you let law enforcement testify, it can come out and be the best thing ever that's ever happened to your criminal case, your DUI, because we've already got that information and it's being recorded in that hearing. Okay? So that's answers to really frequently asked questions that we have about ALSs. Okay, and that's an administrative license suspension hearing here in Georgia. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at the McCranielawFirm.com online, or call us at 833-927-6227. We'll be glad to help you get the answers that you need and help you with your case. Thank y'all.